But Johnny, now it's time to get into the actual show. And
Yes.
I'm sorry for this. I got to do a little bit of house cleaning before we get into the actual Rick and Johnny podcast. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/most valuable podcast. We revamped it. You guys, it's a way for you guys to help support the podcast while getting rewards for it. And one of those we're pumping out here is at the $10 reward. You want to be on the Rick and Johnny podcast, talk about whatever you want with us, $10 a month. And each month you have that. You can be on the show with us for the month. So that's something cool that we are doing. It's not just for Rick and Johnny. You want to be on the Onside Kick. You want to be on the Fast Break, Primetime Podcast. You can switch which ones you are on each month as long as you are at that tier. So go check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast. But Johnny, we got a jam-packed show today.
Yeah, we do.
We're talking about basically DC and Game of Thrones. We couldn't give up Game of Thrones. I know it ended last week, but we couldn't give it up.
We can't give that up. No,
now we can actually theorize about it because
now that the episodes are over,
and we
still
record
have to
on
bring it
Sundays.
Up. Yeah.
Like, that's what you guys, I don't know if you guys have picked this up. We record on Sundays, so it's like we would want to talk about Game of Thrones, like, theories, but me and Johnny would be like, no,
we'd
let's
record,
not.
and then the episode would air.
And then it'd all be shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, crap, would it ruin our podcast? So, like, for the past 8 weeks, was it? Yeah, something like that. We're like, no, this is cool, but we should stay away from the theories. Now we can theorize after we do a DC Game of Thrones sandwich.
Because now it will be a year and a half until we get Game of Thrones again for the final 8th season. But Johnny, first thing we're going to talk about is a Joker origin movie.
Ooh.
And the reason why I say Joker origin movie is because do we really need don't knock over the X-Men X. Do we really need a Joker origin movie? Apparently, according to Deadline, they did an interview with the Hangover's Todd Phillips, who's connected with this Joker movie. And just to read a quote from them, the intention is to make a gritty and grounded, hard-boiled crime film set in the early 80s Gotham City that isn't meant to feel like a DC movie as much as one of Scorsese's films from that era, like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and The King of Comedy, end quote. And Johnny, I want to ask you just plain and simple, do we need a solo Joker movie?
You know what? With the direction DC's going, I say why not? I mean, it's a very interesting one because, I mean, the only origin I know of, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's where Batman kind of fucks up, knocks, I think, what's the Joe Cool, or am I thinking of someone else?
Are you talking about the origin story from Gotham?
Yeah. No, Gotham. From the show
From
Gotham?
the show Gotham?
No, show Gotham is very different than anything I've seen before. Isn't the one from, I think, the animated series where he accidentally drops him into a vat of acid, and that's how we get our Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how it's gonna. That's like the direction they're gonna go with. Like, oh, this is the official Joker when he falls into the vat. But I mean, they also said they're going along the lines of a kid that got picked on in school. Which kind of he's bullied, which kind of brings sort of a realism to the light. And the question is, though, now I have to ask you, do we want a Joker that we feel bad for?
No. I don't. I am totally against this movie. Like, in all sense of it, I am totally against this movie. And the reason why is I do not need, and I do not want a Joker origin movie. Now, a Joker solo movie might be different. That might be cool to see something from the perspective of the Joker. However, I don't want to feel sorry for him. If I feel sorry for the Joker, I'm not watching the Joker.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, it might be like, oh, Ricky, it's a cool insight to, you get to see the villain and what they're like. No, I don't need to see that. And with because this is going to be a Joker origin film, the reason why I don't need to see that is the best thing about the Joker is that we don't know, like, he's so insane and he's so crazy. We don't know his exact origin. Like, think about this, and I know that this is like comparing something that hasn't gotten off and running, that doesn't have legs, to a giant, which is highly respected and very well hyped.
Yeah.
Think back to The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
What was the best thing about Heath Ledger's Heath Ledger's Joker? That every time someone asked him about his origin,
It changed.
It changed. One, it was about his father. When he did the pencil trick, it was something completely different.
Yeah, no, he always
when
changed
he was talking to Rachel, I
bet you're wondering how I got these scars.
I loved that because that's what the Joker is to me. The Joker, someone where it's like you don't know where he came from, you don't know who he is, and that's how it's supposed to be.
The one thing I would, with this one, I do, well, for one, I have to say, I like the idea that we're going to kind of combine the two minds of...
Phillips and Scorsese.
Phillips and Scorsese. You got the guy who made The Hangover, where you can make kind of funny-ish and maybe put that Joker twist on how it's funny.
Yeah.
And then you got Martin Scorsese, a fantastic director and producer. So I like the idea that they're going with those two. Now, the only thing I would say would be I would like, since they're planning to do this Joker one, it's not like they're going to see this and say, oh, we should cancel it.
Yeah.
They're putting money into it already.
Yeah.
So my thing would be, do you remember the Michael Myers film that came out, the Halloween? Came out mid-2000s, I think it was.
You're talking about Halloween H2O? Is that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis?
No, when they remade the Michael Myers movies. Remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, I do.
Yeah. Do something like that. Like, you can show him in early childhood and how fucking demented he was. And make it sort of more of a horror film.
I guess.
In some ways. Make it kind of like Marvel's, Fox Marvel's doing. We had Deadpool just straight up funny. We had Logan, where it's kind of like got a Western feel to it. And it's like drama with a Western feel to it. Like, do something like that. Kind of that horror aspect to it. Where you got more of the Michael Myers horror aspect. Where, for example, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, I shouldn't have to say that by now if it's his early 2000s or mid 2000s movie, but shame on you then. No, where
I believe if it's a decade old, then
that's your problem.
It's like copyright rules. After the 10 years in this situation,
it's on you, not me.
Fault. Yeah.
No, like for example, you see he like left the house and he shaved his pet hamster, skin and all. So shit like that. You can throw those aspects in there and show that like that psychotic mind started, and not in that same exact way, but in a Joker aspect, you can do it. I don't want to feel bad for him though. That's my thing.
I don't want to feel bad for him, but I don't want. Here's the thing off of what you just said that I'm kind of thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't mind the horror part of it. That would be really fucking cool, and it would fit in with how insane and dark the Joker is. But I don't want, avoid anything with the word child.
Okay.
I do not want to see the Joker as a child. Now, if you're going to show him as, when I say a younger Joker, maybe as he is just taking on the Joker mantle, I don't want, let's put it this way, I do not want to see him out of the paint.
Okay.
Out of the white face, out of the red scars, out of the green hair. I don't want to see it. Once I see him out of that, he's not the Joker. You've lost me completely. What? And it goes away from everything that I've been going with. To me, the Joker's just that mystic, not mystic, but that mysterious, insane fuck.
What if it's just 90% of the movie, maybe 95% of the movie that has him with the face paint and everything? It's that 5 to 10% that's like, hey, like I said, the animated
depends
series.
On how they would do it.
Well, I was just saying though, it's like that 5 to 10% of the movie that's like it's right before he is. Batman kind of slips up. I'm going to animated series. Yeah, that's the only origin I know.
Wouldn't be against it.
Okay,
but it would depend on how they executed
No, definitely. And I mean, with these two, I think they could do it right as long as they got a good script.
And the thing I want to bring up, I want to throw out there is. One of the podcasts that I listen to occasionally, the Joe Rogan Experience, he had MMA fighter Brendan Schaub on.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes that Schaub had about it, because Screen Rant also rolled with it, apparently the Joker origin movie is supposed to be super dark and real.
Yeah.
And the quote that he said, and I'll read it right here, my boy Todd Feldman put this together with Todd Phillips. It's dark. It's like a dark Joker. As a kid, he had a permanent smile and everyone made fun of him. It's like on the streets of Brooklyn. It's super dark and real. End quote. And I know the one thing I want to say with this quote is this is kind of, and I mean, Screen Rants kind of says this in the article, and I completely agree with them. Take this part with it, like this quote, take it with a grain of salt, because we're hearing it like, dude, my boy Feldman worked with that. We're hearing it secondhand knowledge of someone, almost third-hand knowledge, and they even say, again, given the degree of separation here at play, Schaub's little thwip is closer to an urban myth than an inside scoop on the movie that's currently in early stages of development. But that is interesting. Like, that's the thing I think this movie needs to be. If you're going to make a Joker movie, it needs to be dark and it needs to be real.
I agree. I completely agree.
It needs to hit me.
It needs to be rated R.
In spots that films never hit me before. It needs to be rated R, but it needs to push, like, there's being rated R, and then there's pushing the envelope on rated R.
Oh, no,
this needs to push the envelope on rated R.
I completely agree. It needs to be very graphic, is what I'm going to say. Because that's what I always see the Joker as. He fucks around with people, and he thinks killing is a joke. The killing joke. That was not on purpose. Yeah, but no, that's what I've always seen him as. He is, as I think one thing I've read on him before, he's what's called super psychotic, where he's an intelligence level above people because of his psychosis, and it's just in that way though. Like, that's why he knows how to make these bombs. That's why he knows how to do all this stuff. It's just the type of intelligence that comes with being that fucked up in the head. So that's what I see him as, a dark person. But, like, he's going to fuck with someone. It's going to mess them up, if not kill them. And you're going to hear that laughter in the background.
I'm not even, like, I thought about it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, that, like, because I could just hear it in my head. Yeah. And I'm getting chills. Just like a dark screen that, like, ha, 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 ha. And then, like, Joker laugh the way that, let's be honest. And everyone's going to have their own Joker. There are probably kids that were about 10, 11, 12 that went and saw The Dark Knight, and they're like, Heath Ledger's my Joker. Mark Hamill will always be my Joker. Yeah. I mean, like Kevin Conroy will always be
your Batman.
My Batman. And, I mean, this movie needs to be dark. Yeah. It needs to be real. And the thing that I bring up Kevin Conroy as an example, because according to, and I've got another Screen Rant article, is apparently that he approves of the Joker origin film. He is one that agrees with it, saying, I think that will be a really interesting film. There is an episode of Batman the Animated Series which dealt with that and told the story. It's really interesting. I had not heard they were doing the film version of it, but I hope Mark Hamill gets it. End quote.
That would be cool.
And that kind of leads me into, I'll ask you this. If they do make the Joker movie, who's your Joker? Who's the guy you're saying push to the front of the line? He's it. How it looks, how it sounds.
I mean, if you can get Mark Hamill to do it, I say have him do it, because he's already got that voice down. I mean, you can always...
He's the Joker.
He is the Joker. I mean, he's got the voice for it. He already knows how to do it. You put that script in front of him, I'm pretty sure he can pull it off.
Here's my only thing with Mark Hamill. Now, with all this, I'm assuming Star Wars Episode 8 wouldn't be a problem, because that's coming out later this year with, like, filming and everything. But depending on if Luke gets through Episode 8, because we don't know what's going to happen there.
Last Jedi.
If Mark Hamill's in number 9, that could be a huge wrench into Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it could be. Which, I mean, we do have two like right now we have some.
I got 3 names that I threw at you in articles coming in this week. The big ones, I guess that the big wigs behind the Joker movie, more so Scorsese and Phillips, they are targeting Leonardo DiCaprio as the Joker.
Really?
Could you see him as the Joker?
You know, I haven't seen him in anything that kind of makes me feel Like, he can do that, but I'm not going to say
Let's be honest. Did anyone think Heath Ledger was going to be anywhere what he was?
That's true.
Like, that's what I think of when it comes to it. But there's still that opinion of, no, I don't think he'd be a good Joker if you think that.
I mean, that's what I look for, like, when I look for an actor for a part. Can they, like, kind of pull, like... And, I look for the other parts that I have seen them in. And it's like, well, do I see any qualities? And then, like... Even if it's like a dumbed down version of it, do I see any of those qualities? Leonardo DiCaprio, I haven't seen that I can think of any parts right now. And maybe I know I haven't seen all of his movies. I'll be honest. I haven't seen every movie out there.
Yeah.
So, not that I know of, but maybe he is a really good actor. As the joke goes, he finally crawled his way to an Emmy, I think it was, or was it an Oscar?
With the
Revenant, which I thought was a really good movie.
That's one that I looked at and I went, I have no interest in seeing it. It just didn't catch my eye. I caught in parts of Wolf of
Wall Street.
I didn't see the whole thing. Caught a few of that. I think that the thing with the Joker that has been missing, especially with the, I'll say it, joke of an actor we got the last time in Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jared Leto, but I didn't like your Joker. No, the thing I liked about Heath Ledger, and I think what Leonardo DiCaprio could bring to a Joker like Heath Ledger did, the prep work.
Yeah.
The prep work, the study work, because the Joker is a character to where you, like, only the best actors can master the Joker.
No, yeah.
Only the best ones can... Like, before Heath Ledger, whose Joker were we talking about?
Mark Hamill.
Well, besides Mark Hamill, I'm talking about in the movies.
Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
Again, another phenomenal actor that is in the acting Hall of Fame. If we put, like, the best actors in a rocket ship and blasted that shit off to the moon and so that the aliens could have them, that's who... Jack Nicholson would be on there.
Yeah.
And I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio would be on there. And that's what I think he could bring to this role. Yeah. There's also other actors like Walking Dead actor who is in Negan's, I think Stephen Ogg.
Yeah.
He was in Negan's crew, wants to play the Joker. Also, the actor that I believe he played L in the new Death Note movie.
Okay.
Wants to play Joker as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's the one thing I want to bring up, because the guy who played L, who I'm going to pull up his name in a second after I throw this to you, the thing that is most interesting about him wanting to do this movie is he's a black actor, or an African-American actor, I think. And the best thing about the Joker is because he's in white face paint, doesn't matter what race you are.
No, it doesn't.
We necessarily do not have to have, like what we saw with the Hellboy movie, where I forget his name. He played Francis in Deadpool, walking away from the Hellboy role because he thought, you know what, it's not right. If it's an Asian character in the comics, I shouldn't play it because I'm white and not Asian.
Yeah.
With the Joker, you can avoid all that, and someone like Lakeith Stanfield can play the Joker because he's in the white face paint and you don't see what race the Joker is.
Exactly.
Joker could be white, Asian, black, Hispanic. He could be anything you want. The only thing that needs to be there is the voice needs to be similar to what the Joker would be. Obviously, I'm looking at you, Batman. I think it's Batman the Brave and the Bold? Or was it just the Batman?
It's the Batman.
The Jamaican Rastafari and Batman coming. Are you the one that I was talking to where you like that Batman?
I thought it was fine.
Hashtag not my Joker. But that's what I wanted to throw out to you, that someone like Lakeith Stanfield could play him. Yeah. Even though it's not like, he's not white like Mark Hamill
This is all just about, honestly, getting the voice down. Getting the laugh down is probably, to me, one of the most important parts.
That's like, if you can't do the laugh, you don't have the role.
No.
And that should be like a duh. Thanks for the obvious knowledge. Right?
But, I mean, it's not always obvious to some people, so it has to be said.
just think of Jared Leto in my mind, and it's like, how did he get the role? But I'm off of that.
Like
but
all the purring.
Do you have any final thoughts about the Joker origin film? Anything that you think we did not hit when it comes to this movie?
No, I mean, I have hopes for this one. I hope they do well because I'm fine with a Joker origin movie, but do it right. And I mean, you got two guys on there that I think can do a good job with it. I just want to see where who you pull out as your actor now.
The thing that I'm going to say about it is the thing that, although I said no, I don't need a Joker origin movie.
Yeah.
You know what is the positive to this?
Yes.
It's that maybe in DC, we need more films where it's just a kind of self-contained story.
Yeah.
Like Matt Reeves came out, I want to say it was last week or this week, and he kind of clarified his comments when he said that the Batman wasn't going to be a part of the DCEU. Remember when we had a big freak out about that?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh my God, is Ben Affleck going to get kicked off as Batman? The best thing I liked about his explanation was that no. The Batman's going to be a part of the universe. It's just not going to contain Wonder Woman, The Flash. It's not going to have a special cameo in there to help promote another movie.
Yeah, no, it's just part of its own thing.
I feel like that's where DC kind of went wrong and kind of set that up with Batman v Superman, where we need more, like Wonder Woman, more self-contained story. Now,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know Wonder Woman had references to BVS, especially in the beginning, but we need more of those self-contained story where it's like the Joker in Gotham City. It's just the Joker. We're not worried about anything that's going out outside of this little self-contained story. That could be the positive from this, but I don't need a Joker origin film. A Joker solo film, you got me interested. Once you say the word origin, don't need it. He needs to be a mystery. I don't want to know where he came from. But that's going to do it. I want to turn this on to you guys, though. What do you guys think? Do you want to see a Joker origin film? Who do you think should play the Joker? Or who would you like to see play the Joker? And let us know about anything we talked about down below in the comment section.